What is up, not so pro football talk? We're here with another episode of Bats betting against the spread with NSP Football Talk. Yes, so we're back again. Wasn't the best week last week for week 7 for literally all of us. For me, I was the worst. But week 8 is a new week. We're about to go undefeated, right, AJ?
Oh, yes, for sure, 100%.
But for those y'all who are keeping up with our records here, it was a big knock on everybody's record week 7. AJ's record right now sits at his favorite number on both sides, 53-53. So you are dead even now, AJ. For me, I dropped down again below 500, so I'm 47-59. And Reed, who cannot be here with us today, but who is going to put his picks down in the comments below, is 41-65. So, I mean, we're all still pretty close. But AJ and Reed went 2-11 this past week, and I went a sad 0-13. That was the worst thing about this week for me, honestly. But we're back at it here again. We're ready to go. So we have our first game here: the Buffalo Bills versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Oh, the Bills have a -8.5 in their favor. AJ, what do you think here with the Bills and how they played this past week?
I think we got burned twice, back-to-back weeks with the Bills overestimating their offense, and I've just been so disappointed. And if they can't score against the freaking Patriots, then I'm gonna get the Buccaneers in this game.
I think that's what I'm gonna do too. Even if the Bills somehow switch it up again, like they have been all season, I feel like this one is probably better to bet against because I mean the Buccaneers have been playing pretty decent, so I will put us both down for the Bucks. But I mean, it's tough sledding for this season. Honestly, we can't really tell which teams are gonna come out swinging and who's not gonna come out swinging. But the next game here we have is the Green Bay Packers versus the Minnesota Vikings. Packers let us down again last week. They did have the -1 in their favor. This week it's for the Vikings. Uh, I kind of like the way the Vikings were playing a little bit last week. The Packers offense still is a little bit shaky for me, even with Aaron Jones coming back, healthy. But so I think I have to not pick the Packers here. I feel like the past 2 weeks I've picked them and they have not panned out for me. So I think
This
I'm
is
going
a
Vikings.
Yeah, this is another team that just totally killed us last week. Aaron Jones is on a snap count for whatever reason. I get it, he's injured, but come on. There's not one game where he's played a full game. Give me the Minnesota Vikings. They looked really good up against the Niners, unfortunately. But yeah, we're gonna go Vikings here.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Alrighty, we got the next one here. The New York Jets versus the New York Giants. The Battle of New York, basically. I'm not too sure how great this game is going to be, but I've liked the way the Jets have been playing as of late. The Giants, had a good week 7, but do we think that they can do it again? I don't. Give me the Jets. Uh, I just think they're the better team to ride with here.
Do I think Tyrod Taylor is a better quarterback than Danny Dimes? Yes, 100% I do. I've always wanted Tyrod Taylor as a backup quarterback just because this is what he can do. But I am still going to go with the Jets here. I think they have, better talent out there despite having Zach Wilson as a quarterback. Way too close of a game to not pick the Jets.
For sure, for sure. All right, moving on to another team in the Northeast. The New England Patriots are going to take on the Miami Dolphins. The New England Patriots, they did win this last week. The Dolphins did lose to the Eagles, but that was a tough defense to play against. Maybe the loss of Tyreek Hill and him possibly not playing this week will factor into play here. Uh, I still think this is a big spread, even though they're uncertain if Tyreek Hill's going to play. Miami Dolphins are at -9 here. I think I'm still gonna ride with the Dolphins, man. I feel like their
Ooh,
offense is
wow.
potent. Do I think that they could cover the 9? I think it's very unlikely. But I mean, this past week I went 0 for 13, so I was obviously not thinking in my right mind. So I think I'm going to go with Dolphins here for the miraculous -9.
Dude, the Dolphins got their face stomped in from the Eagles, man, and I'm scared about that. And if the Bills can't put up that much points against the Patriots, I don't like that either. I'm going to take the 9 points for the Patriots. I'm not a believer of Mac Jones whatsoever. As y'all watch this channel, you know this, but I'm just not going to bet with that big of a spread this week. It's too soon.
It's tricky, man. It's very, very tricky. But we'll go on to this next game here. This one should be a little bit easier, maybe. The Atlanta Falcons versus the Tennessee Titans. The Falcons have -2.5 in their favor here. Um, I mean, I hope Derrick Henry plays good this week, but it feels like the Atlanta Falcons' run defense is quite decent as of now. So I think I might ride with the Atlanta Falcons here because, as we know, we don't know if Will Levis is going to be the guy playing for the majority of the game. And if he is, we haven't seen him play at all yet. So I think I'm going safe bet with the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, notice how you said majority of the game. There was reports that both quarterbacks, Malik Willis and Will Levis, will both be playing in this upcoming game. I don't like that whatsoever. The only thing I like about the Titans this upcoming week is their uniform, and that's about it.
Yeah.
The uniform is gonna look sick, so I'm super excited for that. But the Falcons, I haven't voted for the Falcons yet this season. This is gonna be the first time. Give me Falcons.
Not bad, not bad. Maybe these teams that we have not voted for will finally make it onto the thumbnail. But
Maybe.
moving on, Washington Commanders versus the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles got the big upset win, in my opinion, against the Dolphins and their high-ranked offense. Now they come to place the Commanders in a divisional game. They are favored by 6.5 points here. Um, I mean, I didn't believe in the Eagles last week. I feel like I have to this week. They're forcing my hand, like gun to my head. Aliens, laser beams pointing at Earth.
Oh, jeez.
We're going back to that ESPN video there, but I think I'm just gonna take the Eagles here. I'm not gonna think about it. I feel like they're hopefully gonna start playing better.
You know what, man? Yeah, I was very disappointed. The Commanders had a shot last week to just run the ball. They were going up against the defense that's not so great against the run, but they just wanted to make Sam Howell, give his best impression of being Patrick Mahomes. And that's just not the type of quarterback that he is. And hopefully they don't run with the same scheme, but I could definitely see the Eagles stopping the face of the Commanders by 7 points. So I'm going to take Eagles as well.
That's good, man. I'm just glad that I'm not the only one thinking the way that I am on most of these picks.
I know. I think we're
But
off by one pick, you and I.
yeah, so far so good then. But next game, them Dallas Cowboys versus the Rams. I mean, this one should be a good game in my opinion, the way that both of these teams have been playing so far. I mean, I think this spread is quite large, but then again, I really did not watch the Cowboys play these past few weeks, so maybe I should give them the benefit of the doubt. But I don't think I am. I think I'm going to go with Rams here. I think this is going to be my pick that I'm going against my common sense here. I think the Dallas Cowboys possibly are the better team, but I think the Rams might upset them since we've had so many upsets in the past 2 weeks. So give me the Rams.
Whenever there's been a 6.5 point spread or more with the Dallas Cowboys, I've always veered the other way. The Cowboys always seem to just get in their own way and make the game into a game, even when it shouldn't be. So, yes, I am going to go with the Rams. If Aaron Donald has a big game, they will stop them offensively, will stop Dak Prescott, I should say, and then Puka and Cooper Cup should have themselves a day with that weak corner core.
Nice, nice, nice. Very well said. So we'll go ahead and move on. Sorry, Cowboys fans, but we're not riding with that spread for you. But we have the Indianapolis Colts versus the oh, I'm sorry,
But
New Orleans
New York
Saints.
Saints.
Yeah, New York Saints. Maybe they should move over there too. There's already two teams there. But Indianapolis Colts versus the New Orleans Saints. This one's just a straight up pick. Sometimes I like these, sometimes I don't, because it's just who's going to play better. And most of these teams are pretty equally matched whenever we have a straight pick 'em. So I think the way Jonathan Taylor played this past game, and since I picked the Saints the past 2 weeks and they've fumbled for me, I think I'm gonna go with the Colts here.
I thought you were gonna go with the Saints here, man. I was getting so excited. I was like, okay, finally a different game that we're not going to choose the same. Dude, it is Minshew mania right now. You see Josh Downs performing. You see Jonathan Taylor. Hopefully, will get a 65 percentage of that backfield this upcoming week for my fantasy purpose. But I think the Colts look good, and they just had some unfortunate events because the offensive line isn't the greatest. I want to go with the Colts here.
Sounds good, man. It seems like we're just picking the same teams, and I love it sometimes. But I kind of do want to catch up, so maybe I will switch it up here in a little bit. But Houston Texans versus the Carolina Panthers. Uh, Houston is favored by 3 here. These are possibly 2 of the worst teams coming into the season before we saw how they were going to play. Carolina Panthers still look like a bad team, but the Houston Texans seems like they're making some ground here, and I'm kind of excited to go and possibly see this game this week. On the TV, on the TV.
I was about to say, what the
Yeah, yeah.
heck? Where's
No,
the
like
invite?
it would be cool. It would be cool to go and see this, having 2 rookies playing up against each other first time they match up. It would be awesome to see this live, but we'll see it live on TV. So the Houston Texans, I think I'm gonna ride with them. I just they're my second favorite team. I gotta start giving them the respect that they deserve. I think they're gonna win by more than 3 points this week.
Yeah, Houston has not done me wrong this season just yet. I like them a lot coming off of the bye week. I know the Panthers are as well, but they did come out and say that they're going to try to adjust offensively to help out that quarterback, get a rhythm going. Do they figure it out after the bye week? I'm not too sure. I might willing to put money on it. Not right now. I want to go with the Houston Texans.
Sounds good. Sounds good. And yeah, I do hope that the Carolina Panthers do figure it out by the end of the season so they can have some momentum going into next year. But for now, the Texans are that team that has done it already this season. But moving on, Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jaguars are favored by 2.5 here. I mean, Steelers with the upset win this past week. I don't know if anybody would have picked them to win, but if you did, you are possibly from the future. But yeah, I think I'm still going to go with Jacksonville here. I think they still are the better team. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers just had a, you know, lucky week last week. So give me the Jaguars. The Jaguars.
I hate that we're continuing to agree with one another. I want to go with the Jacksonville Jaguars too. I'm not too confident in the Pittsburgh Steelers offense. I did like what I saw this past week. I still don't like how they're sharing that backfield 50-50 split, but TJ Watt still should be causing a havoc out there defensively. But will it be enough? Hey, I will take the Jacksonville Jaguars winning by a field goal any day against the Steelers.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sounds good. Well, let's see. Maybe this next one we may disagree, AJ.
Uh-oh.
So Seattle Seahawks versus the Broncos. The Seahawks are actually favored by 3.5 points here. I am very surprised, but I should have gone with my team last week against the spread. I cannot believe that AJ, being a 49ers fan, was correct against the spread. Uh, we won 20-10 versus the Cardinals, so I was
How
very happy
ironic.
about that. Very
Yeah.
happy about that. But yes, very ironic. But I mean, it seems like my Seahawks are trying to tell me something. I just got to ride with them, whatever the spread is. So give me them Seahawks, baby.
This is kind of weird. My mind is like going fuzzy for this game for some reason. I can't think straight. But if that's the case, I want to go the Cleveland Browns here. I'm not going to go the Seahawks. I think the Cleveland Browns have an excellent defense. Hopefully, they hold up the Seahawks back because now we need some losses given to the Seahawks in order for the Niners to stay on top of the division. It's just business, Vince. You know this, but
It's
give me the
business,
Browns.
bro. Sounds good. Sounds good. I do respect that. You got to ride with your team, and everybody wants their team to win the division and get, possibly the first seed in the NFC. So good luck to the 49ers. Good luck to the Seahawks. I hope that them facing the Browns is a good game for us. But moving on to our old quarterback, Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos take on the Kansas City Chiefs. And, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think that they've beaten the Chiefs since he's been there in Denver. I would have to do
They're
my
so
research
bad.
again, but the Broncos have not won very many games with Russell Wilson there, and I
No.
don't think that they have won very many divisional games either, if they haven't won any at all. But that's the writing on the wall for me. I think I'm going Kansas City Chiefs here. They're favored by 7. I think that's very doable the way Travis Kelsey and Patrick Mahomes are playing right now.
Yeah, the Denver Broncos are really bad. I'm gonna go Denver Broncos. I know they won last week, but I mean, who are the Green Bay Packers? We don't know
Yeah,
anymore. Yeah, give me the Chiefs here. I think they'll cover 7.
exactly, exactly. And no diss I read, but yeah, I believe we all are understanding that the Packers are going through that, recovery process, transitioning into the new Packers,
That emo
whoever they are.
phase.
Yeah, yeah. They're in their teenage years right now. But going to the Arizona Cardinals and the Baltimore Ravens. This one's a bird bowl, baby. I do like when these happen. Sometimes they do end up being very good, but the Baltimore Ravens are favored by 8.5 here. It doesn't seem like the Cardinals can play very well without some of their stars, like James Conner. So I just don't believe in them anymore. I did a little bit in the beginning of the season when they were actually playing well, but it seems like their unit is kind of self-destructing out there, and I don't know what exactly it is besides the James Conner injury. So give me the Ravens.
I believe this is one of the games I got right last week. Like I said last week, I said they can't perform without James Conner. I feel like that offense runs through James Conner. It's so weird, but I don't like the how big the spread is. But last week we saw that the Ravens are just a powerhouse. I want to go with the Ravens here. Don't like the spread, but let's just go with it.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Well, we are almost to some of our last games here, but I will give the microphone to AJ. AJ, take it away.
It is hard to talk about this game. I mean, the Niners are back-to-back losses, and you see the teams upset. You see CMC coming out saying, "Hey, put the blame on me." You see Nick Bosa coming out saying, "Put the blame on me." Same thing with Warner. Same thing with Kittle. Same thing with Brock Purdy. And now Brock Purdy is in a concussion protocol where we might have Sam Darnold starting this game. It is just absolutely insane. We need to figure some stuff out as far as defensive play calling and offensive play calling. We have the weapons. Let's utilize them. I'm still going to take the Niners at -3.5. Brock Purdy or Sam Darnold. I like Sam Darnold being drafted a few years back, but he didn't pan out. I think he should be able to work with this offensive system. Give me the Niners.
It's very, very hard for me to choose this game without being super biased. Cincinnati Bengals did beat us. They beat the Seahawks 2 weeks ago, and now the 49ers are really, really struggling with, the injury to quarterback and him possibly not playing this week. But I still think your team is the better team here. The Cincinnati Bengals have been playing very well, or not very well, but playing better than they did in the first 4 weeks. Uh, you know what? I'm just gonna be biased. I'm gonna take the Bengals here. I have to. I just have to. I gotta make up
Oh,
some ground on you, and if this is the game to do it, then
hey, business has
maybe it
been
is.
business, man. I just think it's so
Business,
ironic
business.
that the Bengals are, as they're getting healthier, the Niners are getting uh more and more injured. It's just unfair and unfortunate.
It happens, man. It happens. But coming to the second to last game here, we got the Los Angeles Chargers versus the Chicago Bears. Uh, I expected the Chargers to put up more points last week against the Kansas City Chiefs, but that was not the case. And the Bears, they've been playing pretty good without Justin Fields. I know it's only 1 week, but I mean it was pretty convincing in my opinion that Badgett is, he's got some cojones. He
It
reminds
does.
me of BCB, but I don't know what to call Badgent yet. So we'll wait on that. Someone will come up with a very nice name for him if he does end up getting this win. But I think the way they played last week, it gives me some respect for them. So I think I'm going to take the Bears here for this spread. Chargers didn't impress me last week, and I mean, maybe the defense of the Bears holds them up to at least winning the game or losing by less than 8 points.
This is a pretty big spread. I'm not a fan of it. Um, but I just want to put this out there a little something I was thinking about today was how quickly everyone is ready to give up and say how Brock Purdy is exposed, and they're what they thought of him originally is confirmed. I don't know how you guys are so easy to drop off on Brock Purdy while Justin Fields is 6-36 in his career, and y'all still think he's a franchise quarterback. And Brock Purdy has lost 2 games in the regular season. I like I said, that's just me, but I think the Bears look a lot better without Justin Fields. They say, hey, you know what? We're going to scrap this college playbook. We're going to use an NFL playbook for once. And hey, we actually have a good team. But I am going to go with the Chargers here. I this is my wild card game. I think the Chargers need to make a statement at this point of time.
They do. They are falling down there in the standings for just the NFL in its entirety. So we'll see how that game pans out. But last game that we have here, or yeah, we do. Yeah, Lions versus the Raiders. And again, this is another big spread. It seems like there's been a lot of crazy big spreads so far. Um, Detroit is favored by 8.5 against the Raiders. I wasn't impressed by the Lions this past week, and I feel like maybe the absence of some of their, running back depth is the question there. It seems like ever since they haven't been able to run the ball, that offense hasn't been clicking, and that's how football works. You get one dimensional and it's hard to win. But the Las Vegas Raiders are also not one of the best teams here in the NFL. So this one's a hard one for me, but I think I'm gonna take the Detroit Lions on the spread. May not be a good spread to take, but I just like the Lions better than the Raiders.
We don't have any confirmation on Jimmy Garoppolo right now, and it seems like for whatever reason, this offense cannot operate without him. It is so weird, but I'm still not going to go with the Raiders. They looked horrific this past week, and the Lions they got embarrassed. They got freaking embarrassed. They should come out here and tear up some kneecaps, especially to this team. It's just disrespectful that the Raiders are on Monday Night Football. Yeah, give me
Yes.
the Lions here.
Sounds good, man. Sounds good. Well, I think out of all these games, we have only disagreed on four. I feel like some of them were forced, but it is just the way it's got to happen. Someone has to make up ground, or someone has to, extend that ground. And as we know, AJ is at exactly 500, and I'm below 500. So everybody's just trying to get some dubs out here, guys. But if you think that we are correct on our picks, unlike these past 2 weeks where we haven't done that bad or we haven't done that good, but come on and ride with us, guys. If you guys think that our picks are good this week, let us know down in the comments. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, as we are on our way to just growing our community. We really love to have you guys out here, whether it's fantasy football or anything else that we do on this channel. So hit that subscribe button. And if you are watching somewhere else, hit the like button. And if you're feeling generous, come over to YouTube. That's where we have most of our success, guys. But other than that, AG, you have anything else you want to talk about for week 8?
Man, I don't. Let's just all send some prayers to Brock Purdy, and hopefully he clears concussion protocol.
Sounds good, guys. And if you are feeling super, super generous, go ahead and put down in the comment section below a happy, happy wedding for AJ,
Oh,
as this weekend he will be celebrating his marriage. So good
yes, I will
job.
be
Kudos
getting
to
married this
AJ.
weekend. Yeah. Thank you, Vince.
All right, guys. That is all for us. And as we always say, keep on grinding.